Welcome to our channel Con Features. Learn new every day. The widespread adoption of electric vehicles, EVs, over gasoline-powered cars would have significant environmental and social impacts. We will explore the potential effects of a world where all gasoline cars are stopped and only EVs are used for transportation. Environmental impact. The transition to EVs could have significant environmental benefits, including a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution. According to the International Energy Agency, EVs could save up to 2.7 billion tons of CO2 emissions by 2030. This reduction in emissions would help to mitigate the impacts of climate change and improve air quality, particularly in urban areas. However, the environmental impact of EVs is not entirely clear-cut. As we discussed in the previous essay, the manufacturing and disposal of EV batteries can have environmental impacts. Additionally, the increased demand for electricity to power EVs could lead to an increase in greenhouse gas emissions if the electricity is generated from fossil fuels. To avoid this, it would be necessary to transition to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Social impact. The widespread adoption of EVs could also have significant social impacts, both positive and negative. On the positive side, EVs could reduce the dependence on oil imports and increase energy security. EVs could also create new jobs in the manufacturing, maintenance, and recycling of batteries, as well as in the renewable energy sector. However, the transition to EVs could also have negative social impacts. The shift away from gasoline-powered cars could have an economic impact on industries that rely on fossil fuels, such as oil and gas companies. This could lead to job losses and economic disruption in these sectors. Additionally, the cost of EVs may be prohibitive for some people, particularly those in low-income communities. Furthermore, the shift to EVs could also have implications for public transportation. As more people switch to EVs, the demand for public transportation could decrease, leading to a reduction in funding and service levels. This could have a disproportionate impact on low-income communities, who may rely more heavily on public transportation. Infrastructure and logistics. The widespread adoption of EVs would require significant changes in infrastructure and logistics. This includes the development of a robust charging infrastructure, which would need to be widely available and easily accessible. Additionally, the electricity grid would need to be upgraded to handle the increased demand for electricity from EVs. This could require significant investment in the electricity infrastructure, as well as in energy storage technologies such as batteries. Furthermore, the production of EVs requires significant amounts of raw materials such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel. The increased demand for these materials could lead to supply chain disruptions, particularly if the mining and processing of these materials is concentrated in a small number of countries. Conclusion. The transition to a world where all gasoline cars are replaced by EVs would have significant environmental, social, and logistical implications. While the environmental benefits of EVs are clear, it is important to consider the potential social and economic impacts of this transition. To ensure a smooth and equitable transition, it will be necessary to invest in charging infrastructure, renewable energy, and battery recycling technologies. Additionally, it will be important to consider the impact of this transition on public transportation and to ensure that low-income communities are not left behind. By taking a comprehensive approach to this transition, we can create a more sustainable and equitable transportation system for the future. Thanks for watching.